could.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land and X land. Y'all in Kick land aren't getting this because I haven't done anything with my Kick. I'm coming at you from a new to me machine. It's not a new machine, but it's a new to me. It's better than the old one. It's running Windows 11, which, you know, part of the reason I had to go to a new machine is because of Windows 10 being more or less obsoleted. So now I'm on Windows 11, and thus far I have to say that, like many of you out there, I also dislike it intensely. So I guess I'm stuck with it until they put out another edition of Windows. I mean, either that or I'm going to have to start cracking the books and trying to learn Linux. Although when I would find the time to do that, I have no idea. But everybody I know who uses Linux, you know, they're always crowing about how superior it is to Windows. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's just too bad it never caught on. But I'm not picking on Linux people. I like Linux people. And besides, they kind of scare me because, you know, they have a virus-proof system, basically. At least that's what I'm led to believe. So you might be wondering, what's happened to the show? How come T-shirt's not been on in so long? Well, on my last show, I'm pretty sure I told you that my cousin was dying. As it happens, he started slipping faster than we anticipated. We got him hospice care, which didn't really do shit, to be quite honest. They loaded him up on painkillers, though, at least, so he didn't have to suffer quite as much. And then a week ago, we lost him in the middle of the night. He went peacefully while he was sleeping, which that's the best anybody could hope for. You know, I had to watch my father die, gasping for air. You know, and I was assured that he was in no pain because I had him on all kinds of drugs to null the pain. I said, but to me, the way he was fighting to breathe told me he was in some kind of pain. He was fighting that hard to breathe, and it was kind of traumatic for me to have to sit there and watch him, but I did, and I held his hand the whole way out. And I don't think he deserved to die that way, but it is what it is. I'm glad that my cousin left this world the way he did. I'm glad he's not suffering anymore. You know, he was kind of like my big brother. And all I can do is remember all the good times that we had together, especially as kids, because we were pretty inseparable. So basically it was pretty much a death watch up until last week. And yesterday we finally laid him to rest. So it's all over now. And I guess I've been putting the show off long enough. Grieving. I was grieving for him while he was still alive. I was grieving for him after he's dead. I mean, you know, what are you going to do? And I guess the thing with death is it's traumatic for the living because someone that you cared about, that was part of your life, that was probably an integral part of it in one way or another, is now missing from it forever. And it doesn't matter how much you kept in touch with them or even if you've ever talked to them or not. I've felt extremely sad and upset by the death of celebrities that I've never ever met, because whether or not they knew I existed is not important. I knew they existed, and their body of work affected me. And to have that loss now means that I have to go through the rest of my life living with the knowledge that they will not make anything again. They won't they won't come back on screen. They won't make music or whatever. I mean, and that's part of loss. And it's the same with my cousin. It's not necessarily that he and I were, you know, as close as we were. It's just that, you know, any chance to talk or do anything together now, it's irrevocably gone, and it's gone for good. And more than once, I've lamented friends who have passed away that I tried to hook up with or wanted to hook up with, but never did. And then they passed away and the opportunity was lost forever. And I think I've said this before more than once, but if there's somebody that you care about, or there's somebody you want to talk to, you better do it while you have the chance. Don't put it off, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. They may pass away. You may pass away. Or something really, really horrible like what's happening to Bruce Willis may happen. And, you know, I mean, he's not dead, but he might as well be. I mean, he can't remember that he was an action star or that he made all these movies. You know, he can't even live unassisted. And to me, that's almost a fate worse than death. To not be cognizant of who you used to be or how important you were to so many people. I wouldn't wish that particular death on anybody. But hey, I'm not here to be morbid all day. I've got a lot of stuff that's been piling up since I didn't go on for such a while, and we'll show off some of that today. I don't really have any topics of extreme importance or magnitude today. This is just kind of getting back into the swing of things. I basically put up the notification and everything for the show yesterday because I wanted to push myself to go ahead and do it today, climb back into the saddle, because it's just been too long. So I'm glad y'all are with me, and you know, thanks for being here. That's the best I can say. All right, let's get our guests on. Well, our panel. We don't have too many today. We have Mr. Grimm.
Old Reliable.
Yes, Old Reliable. And Mr. Daniel, how you doing?
What's going on, my friend?
Oh, you know. I'm sure you've heard.
Oh, I have. And of course, rest in peace.
Thank you.
You get what everyone gets, a lifetime.
Pretty much.
I mean, on the bright side, he's not a living University of South Carolina football fan. That's
I saw a joke yesterday about somebody distributing Raiders tickets in Halloween bags, and how there's some sick people out there.
I don't know. It's one of those things they expect to lose. South Carolina could fuck up a bowling ball with a rubber hammer, though.
I guess so.
Blew a 30-point lead this afternoon.
Oh, Jesus. How do you do that?
The same way they did it against Alabama when, with like the last 4 minutes of the game, they blew a 21-point lead, I believe.
Jesus.
They've done it like 3 times this year where they've been like just 3-4 scores ahead of whoever they're playing going into the end of the game and then just get trounced.
Somebody's probably got some money on those games and is, like throwing them on purpose. That's all I can think of because,
that would be
you blow
real
it by that
hard
much
to do it that way 3 times in a row, especially because South Carolina sucks. And they're all 3 teams they were doing this to, they had absolutely no business scoring on in the first place.
Well, on kind of a different and related front, and I'm sure Grim can talk about this as well. As you may know, that we lost Neil Coates some time ago, and his widow actually got into contact with me, which was nice. And I got to see the webcasts of all of his funerary proceedings and everything, and my gosh, man, we don't know how lucky we had it having him around as a friend, huh?
Yeah, he was a good dude.
He was a really good dude.
People might not know him by his real name because he played that quite close to his chest, but he was the Motley Fool and various other names, and he played quite regularly on our Sunday games when he was well.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, the very last game he played with us was the settlement game, and that very last episode that he was on, the very last episode that we did, he had me laughing so hard. So I sent all the clips of that to his widow, and so that she could enjoy it too. Because I told her, I said, this is probably my favorite game that he was ever in, because he was just making us laugh our asses off with his character, Smike.
Yes, who was basically Smee from the Bob Hoskins played. Yeah,
when he took possession of the Lord's Manor, that was the most hilarious thing. But oh man, we've lost some good people. It's a shame.
It has been a really shitty year in so many ways.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see the back of it.
Yeah, I don't miss... I'm not going to miss this year at all. I mean, it's pretty much been one disappointment after another, one loss after another. I mean, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2. I got it. I literally played it for 1 hour solid before I decided this is a piece of absolute fucking shit, and I don't want this fucking thing that I paid for 6 years ago. So I refunded it, and I took my money and I bought like 4 indie titles for the same price, and I'm much happier with those.
Yeah. What did you get then instead?
Oh, let me look. What did I get? I got Turret Girls. I got Doll's Nest. I got Tormented Souls 2, and Dating of the Future, which I'm not sure I'm really crazy about that one so far. It's very, very slow, but it can't be worse than Bloodlines 2. I mean,
that bad.
It is the dumbest fucking vampire game I've ever seen in my entire life. You're supposed to be playing a 400-year-old ancient vampire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who apparently doesn't understand the concept of picking up something and hitting someone with it. at all. Because the bad guys, which there are numerous amounts of them, have weapons that they use against you, but you, for some reason, are unable to pick them up and use them against them.
Oh my God.
No matter what it is.
That does touch on what would be a great idea for a vampire game.
Well, a vampire game where the vampire is mentally challenged?
Kinda. It's like, why do we not have a What We Do in the Shadows vampire game?
I mean,
that would be great. There's a 400-year-old vampire who picks stuff up and doesn't know how to use it.
Well, I mean, you know, I mean,
great mechanic.
Daniel, it's not like it's anything. I mean, it was like, you know, some dumbass hits you with a baseball bat and you can't figure out how to pick it up and hit him with it back.
Yeah, like I said, that would work great for, you know, for What We Do in the Shadows. Not so much Bloodlines or Vampire the Masquerade.
I mean, it gets worse than that. The same vampire uses telekinesis in combat because that's supposed to be their big mechanic. It's like, yeah, so their big mechanic is basically stolen from Portal.
Their big mechanic is I can't pick shit up with my hands, so I pick it up with my mind instead.
Yes, exactly. So you could pick up shit and throw it at people, or you can throw people with it, or you can telekinetically wield machine guns. And once you do that, you empty the clip into somebody, or I'm sorry, the magazine. You empty the magazine into people. But there's other. I mean, okay, Dan, let me explain to you how ridiculous this is. Now, most of the people that you're fighting are ghouls, so ostensibly they might be a little tougher than humans. But there's also human cops, and you know, other human people. You're playing a 400-year-old ancient vampire. 400 years old, ancient. As Grim will probably attest, and I'm kind of looking for you to do that. A vampire that old would, you know, he'd have absolutely no problem just destroying even a huge group of, you know, regular humans or even ghouls.
Yeah. I mean, it would depend. But, I mean, the other problem is the moment you emerge from the Earth in the current timeline, you'd be having it away on your toes to the Middle East, summoned by the ancients. So, bit hard to construct a game around that, I think.
Yeah, and you can't use the excuse that, oh, well, you're old, you haven't been around, you don't know what's going on, because the game establishes within the first hour easily that the reason you know everything, including how to speak English, is the fact that the first person who opened your coffin was a Malkavian who got Diablerized by you instantly. Because you know, when ancients come out of torpor, they're ravenously hungry.
So this is like the good old fashioned, like old school video games where they have, like, you used to have this crap happen, like when cinematics first got real big with like the PlayStation and whatnot.
Oh God,
like,
yeah.
You see this thing about how badass you are and how you're doing all this crazy stuff, and then it's like, you know, the rat kills you in 2 hits,
yes.
And you're like struggling every time you fight him.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's like you're a 400-year-old ancient. It's like there's no ordinary mortal or ghoul that should be able to stand up to you for more than half a second in combat. Nonetheless, you possibly getting killed by these things.
That's kind of what they did in, what was it, Redemption?
Sort of, yeah.
You played one part in medieval times, then you went into torpor and woke up in the modern day.
Right. Yeah, and that's true. That's true. But that is a, 26, 27-year-old game?
Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
Also old, crumbling to dust.
Yeah. So, okay, I can get that there's parts of that are incorrect, but that game is actually more lore accurate than this one.
Yeah. And Diablerie doesn't, like, it's not Duolingo.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
you might be able to learn Dementation and Allspecs and obfuscate after eating a Malkavian, but it's not going to teach you English.
Well, not only that, but it really doesn't matter what clan you are, and because first off, all the clans are underrepresented in how much power they actually have. You know, like in a basic vampire game, you have a pick of 3 different clan disciplines, right?
Yeah.
Well, not this. Instead, your disciplines are set up more or less like a skill tree, and they're weak. I mean, it's like Toreador. You can run over and kiss somebody, and they become your ally and kill the other guys for you. But there's a hitch that I didn't tell you about. So basically, you have to travel like walking simulator style. Although, and admittedly, this part of the game is cool because you can like jump across rooftops and do all the cool, you know, fly through the night vampire shit as you cross Seattle, which is actually kind of cool. You know, props where they deserve it. But yeah, over rooftops or on the streets or wherever you want to go. But the thing is, when you arrive at whatever location you're supposed to be in, it doesn't matter if you get there by stealth or whatever. You cannot proceed into the next location because usually there is something barring your way, like a simple padlock. I wish I was kidding. I'm not. But yeah, it's like the very first door I ran into that I couldn't get into was stopped by a simple padlock, which a 400-year-old ancient would, you know, be able to fart and destroy. But well, I mean, regardless,
to be fair, 400-year-old ancient or not, many times I was playing Fallout and I walked up to a door that was locked that I couldn't get through that clearly had busted out glass that I could just reach through and unlock from the other side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's like, this is kind of stupid that this is what they put here intentionally, but they could have just said the door is locked and had a broken window you couldn't reach through.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. You remember how annoying the whole you cannot travel because monsters are near or whatever shit that usually pops up in games. Okay, I could not go through the door because there was a pack of ghouls behind me. And, despite the fact that, my one charmed ghoul is beating the shit out of all the other ones, I had to stop, kill all the ghouls, including the one I charmed, in order to proceed through the door. So I can't even carry, a charmed ally through a door with me because I don't know.
It's like, remember when Age of Conan first came out and every time you zoned as a necromancer, all your shit died?
Yeah.
So it's like every time you go through a door, you got to turn around and raise all your stuff again.
I guess. I mean, either that or try to, kiss everybody if you're a Toreador. I didn't try all the other clans because obviously I only played it for an hour, but I've watched videos on all the other ones since then, and yeah, I probably should have picked the Banu Hakim to start with because they have some kind of like, Fist of the North Star looking, multiple punch thing, which looks really cool. But at the same time, I'm thinking this is stupid. You're a 400-year-old ancient and a Banu Hakim, and you're hitting a guy 100 times. There should be nothing left of this person at all. I mean, literally, it's like, when you have the strength to explode bricks and cars and everything else, hitting human flesh, there shouldn't be anyone left after that.
It sounds like whoever was involved in the development of this knew nothing about the tabletop game whatsoever, and all of the research they did was like they went to a low market LARP and sat at the bar talking with some drunk guy about his character, and that's what they based the game on. That's what it sounds like.
It gets worse.
It can't.
Oh no. It gets worse. It gets worse. So as I said, it doesn't matter what clan you pick. And you can't pick them all, by the way, because obviously they're not all in the game yet. There's no Nosferatu. Malkavian is kind of playable, and I'm going to get to that in a minute because that's annoying. But, you got your other classes, which are all the basic, good-looking vampires. So you can't play any of the weird ones. But it doesn't matter what disciplines you have or what clan you have, because throughout the game, you're allowed to pick up all the disciplines from all the other clans that are available. And you do this by... I'm sorry, my exasperation is at a near fever pitch, but let me try to put this into words. You, a 400-year-old ancient, which every vampire in the city would probably be on their knees trying to suck their dick, are basically ordered around like you're a neonate to go do jobs. And some of them are stupid jobs, like you have to go deliver groceries or some shit to some woman as a side quest.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
It's the same game. Great Commander General with your power armor and your arsenal of laser weapons. There's a small settlement over there that has some raiders in it. Please go kill them. I don't have time for that right now. Shut up, Preston.
Well, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. I mean, it's like,
you're all Preston.
Yeah. Not only is every vampire you run into Preston asking you, telling you, go do this, go do that. You're a 400-year-old ancient, and, basically I should be sucking your dick to get your kind of power or serve you. And yet I'm going to order you around like you're a neonate just popped out the coffin. You can see Grim rubbing his head there. That's pretty accurate. Yeah. It gets worse. Rubbing. Oh no! Your temple's really going to throb here in a minute, because, as I said, you can acquire any clan's powers, because all these guys who order you around and will give you a cup of their blood to drink in order to get their powers.
So, technically, that is lore accurate. In you have to have a taste of the blood of someone who had that discipline in order to learn the discipline.
Mm-hmm.
However, you don't want to be willy-nilly handing out your blood to just anybody, because that's just asking someone to use blood magic on you.
Uh-huh.
And you shouldn't be drinking it because you don't want to be blood bonded.
Exactly! Right! Exactly! So now you've got the blood of like 8 or 9 or 6 or 7 clans in you.
Yeah. Well, and handing over disciplines for little pissant jobs is not something that should be done. Great elder, I don't want to make 2 trips carrying my groceries from the car to my apartment. Help me carry them, and lo, I shall teach you potence.
Exactly. And you don't even get anything cool like potence or anything. You just get like these very cherry-picked disciplines or abilities that are just, very game-specific. Now, as far as the story goes, it's dumb. But
Meg from Family Guy, like, you go do this great quest across town for them, and help them take their groceries in, and now you can grow your fingernails.
Yeah, basically. No, I mean, what I mean by the story is dumb is the story actually breaks down itself a few times because it kind of forgets how it works. And as I said before, there is an opportunity to play a Malkavian, but it's the dumbest thing possible. So, yeah, just gotta bear up a minute here. Okay, so yes, so the Malkavian you diablerized, his consciousness is living in your head, a la Johnny Silverhand, except he's more annoying than Johnny Silverhand. Also, when he decides he wants to have a discussion with you or a chat with you, it is unskippable, and it stops all of everything going on. Like, literally, it's like you cut to a separate screen with you and him talking, and of course, he never fucking shuts up, ever.
So you can't go through a door while you're fighting the ghouls, but he can pop in and have a 6-hour lecture.
Exactly. And you actually get to relive his story through flashbacks where you get to play as him, and he has no combat abilities and is not able to traverse the city the way you do. So he basically has to walk everywhere. So the game slows down into a walking simulator.
Explains why you ate it so easily.
Yeah, and a talking simulator. Which about the coolest part of it is another thing that they stole from the first Bloodlines, where apparently the Malkavian can talk to inanimate objects and they will answer back.
Well, it might actually just be mad. But...
Yeah. So the only way I will play this game again is somebody will have to be cruel enough to buy it for me, because I'm not paying for it again. I already paid for it. I waited 6 years and I got dog shit. I'm not even interested in it whatsoever.
I'm sure they'll drop the price to tuppence halfpenny pretty quick.
Here's the thing. If they had called it Vampire the Masquerade Walking Simulator, or Vampire the Masquerade, the Ancient's Conundrum, or Vampire the Masquerade, Walk Through Seattle, or anything but Bloodlines 2, I think it would have been fine.
So it doesn't have the open problem solving at all?
No, and there's no role playing whatsoever either. You are pretty much on a rail. Your responses to people do not really matter, although they will constantly flash the little, such and such will remember you said that, or such and such likes that. But it doesn't really matter. Yes, Vampire the Masquerade Nomad would have been perfect, because that's your name. You're the Nomad. That's what they call you. That would have been a great title for it. Then nobody would have gotten confused and thought, oh, this is actually going to be like the Bloodlines original game. Which...
Yes. A 5-year development time isn't that uncommon, though it is much later than they said it was going to be. Yeah, 5 is nearly 6.
They also...
How many hands has this thing been through in that time, though?
2. Remember, originally the game was with Hardsuit Labs. It had the original writer, and it had the original composer, and, a lot of the folks from, the first one brought on board to make a game out of it. And then we had the virus of unspecified Asian origin that hit everything, and I think that kind of messed with everything. And sometime between then and then, I think the writer got Me Too'd, or he got, or he otherwise got unceremoniously removed from the game. So a little bit further on, they gave us more promises. They showed us more trailers, and eventually Hardsuit Labs said, we can't do it. So they scrapped it. And then they handed it over to the Chinese room, which is absolutely the worst studio ever to hand a video game to, because all they do is basically walking simulator horror walkthroughs.
I mean, when you think about it, I think there's an inverse relationship between how good a game is and how long it's in development. Because, we've all got stories that say, wow, this game was only 6 months in development, and how great is it? They got rushed through because of these deadlines, and they got pushed real hard to get this out by a deadline, and they still made a great game. And then it's like, I spent 20 years making my Neo TT RPG system. Vampire the Neo TTRPG world. The Neo Masquerade.
If they just stuck to a role-playing centered walking simulator, but then gave it huge amounts of branching storylines and everything, that could actually work. But you'd have to commit to the bit and not call it Bloodlines.
Yeah. Yeah. And the voice acting is anywhere from really good to cringe. in particular, one spot that grated on me is the fact that they have a Nosferatu who really doesn't look Nosferatu at all. He just kind of looks like an ugly person.
Well, that's a 5th edition thing.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not all deformed and with huge teeth and weird ears and all that other, all the other Nosferatu goodness that we've come to love and know. He just kind of looks like an ugly human. And
yeah.
And of course he's gay. Because of course, which begs the question in the first place. I'm kind of like, the whole idea with vampires and Vampire the Masquerade is the fact that the feeding is actually better than any mortal pleasure you could ever imagine, including sex or drugs or anything. So why is this guy still engaging in sex acts if he's a vampire?
Yeah. To be fair, everyone always ignored that and had them bonking anyway. But
that's true.
Just feeding is better.
Yeah. Not only that.
Flavors.
Oh yeah. Which he is not just gay; he is stereotypically gay. Yes, he is. He is stereotypically gay. And yes, Nosferatu are my favorite too, Savo.
Bruja forever.
Yeah, but the other thing is, there are times when he is in the same room with the prince, which is kind of like ordinarily, the prince of a city wouldn't be in the same room with a Nosferatu. He would have, go-betweens, emissaries, or whatever, because the Nosferatu are kind of frowned on being in public Camarilla court.
Maybe the Primogen.
Yeah, maybe the Primogen. But yeah, he not only he argues with the prince also openly. So I'm kind of like, how do we get away with it? This prince is really chill, apparently. But yeah,
this says there is right in a way.
It wasn't written and developed for you. No, it wasn't.
It sounds like it wasn't written for people with functional prefrontal cortexes.
Yeah, it was made for sensitive people. And then the funny thing is as much as I hated on it, I'm hearing people who said, "Oh, I'm having so much fun with it. I love it." And I'm just kind of like, you're easily amused, aren't you?
Oh, man. That's kind of a modern thing anyway with a lot of the, especially RPG flavored video games and stuff. It's just like what's happened with Dungeons and Dragons, where we've gone from simulating adventures into epic dungeons and wars and great quests to simulating having beef with the waitress at your favorite coffee shop. It's the same crap. I mean, you even look at Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy turned into a hallway simulator that connects different K-pop scenes.
I mean, might as well be.
Like 1 or 2 fights and then a boss fight that has a very easy way to automatically win, and then like a 45-minute cutscene where they have a pop song and a music video, like, and little anime, and then you walk down another hallway and you have another one fight and another boss fight with a twist, and then another 30-minute cutscene. I mean, that's just what they do with these things. It's like it's walk around and talk to people simulator, and people are more concerned with how many different damn, how many different colors of vase and flower can I put in my character's apartment that I earn after halfway through the game. They're more concerned with that crap than they are with, I don't know, saving the world or doing something meaningful.
I think there's a certain amount of leeway and forgiveness you can give moving an intellectual property from one medium to another, right? Like Kindred, they embraced the TV series, dumbed everything down, slimmed everything down, did a lot of day as night shots, and didn't bother putting the Nosferatu in makeup or anything. It's just they told the actors to act a little bit spookier.
Actually, they did put the Nosferatu in makeup, and
not the main one.
Yeah, he was in makeup. He was bald and had the pointy ears and stuff like that. That was Jeff Kober, who looks pretty weird anyway. But they also established that there was 2 different types of Nosferatu. There was his type, and then there was the more bestial ones that showed up in another episode. Which
is a load of toss as well.
Well, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I actually liked Kindred, the Embrace.
Yeah, so. It was going in a good direction, I think, and then the guy who played the prince died, which kind of put the kibosh on the whole thing. But
Mark Frankel,
but to take a game's IP, right? Even the first Bloodlines, that's dumbed down, simplified. You understand why, but this sounds like they've just kind of given up. What is the point of taking on an IP if you're just going to ignore everything? But I think we've bitched like old men for like 2/3 of our time normally. So have you had anything good? Bought anything good? Got anything good?
I do. I have. But first off, the only time beefing with a waitress is acceptable is if you are playing Street Fighter the RPG, because everybody is kung fu fighting. I do have Street Fighter the RPG. However, you do know there is a petition out there to have at least one stage in Tekken take place in a Waffle House. It's true. It's true.
Should I retroclone the Street Fighter RPG?
Oh my God! I mean, why not? I mean, if
make it work properly.
Well, I mean, Chubby Funster managed to kind of overhaul, VTM into something that was D20able. I mean, I'm sure you could do the same thing with Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Sabo says there is a market for the sensitive crowd. I wish the developers were brave enough to make new IPs for them rather than kludging them into older ones. Yeah, and that is a lot of my problem, is the fact that I was hoping Ironcaster would be here because he'd have a lot of input on this too. But guys, I believe the culture war is more or less over, and we lost. And when I say that, I mean it's not so much that, we lost the IPs or anything like that. It's just that what was done to them was so destructive that they're no longer recognizable, and that is the way they're going to be going forward. I mean, The Witcher, shit. Star Wars, shit. Indiana Jones, shit. What else was it? Aliens, shit. Predator, shit. Vampire, shit. D&D, shit. I could keep going on and on and on, but I mean, Jesus Christ, this is like all the shit that we like got fucked up somewhere, in the last 10 years. It's amazing that how Hollywood managed to just hollow out everything that was good, that was enjoyable, and just turn it into shit. Is just, how do you do that? Is there anything worth watching anymore?
Not really. There's an economic side to it too. There's a formula that kind of goes into it where they know that segment will throw their money, whether they like it or not, they'll throw money into it to support it for a cause. Mm-hmm. Whereas on the other side, they're not going to throw money into it just because you agree with it. You're going to have to give them something worth buying at the same time. So they just pander to the crowd that's going to throw money no matter what, and they've got a formula that says, if we do this, this, and this, we'll get this section. Now, I don't think it's not so much that the war is lost. It's just that now it's become a war of attrition. We just have to continue waiting for that contingent of people to continue to fade away because they've been shrinking. And you can see it in the kind of sales returns that you have for a lot of these movies and stuff. Disney has become toxic when it used to print money. You slap that stupid house on something, and it was automatic blockbuster. Everybody bought it. Everything was great. And as long as they put out stuff that was quality, it was fine. They started doing the other crap, and they've just slowly whittled away to where their name is toxic at this point.
I agree. And that's another franchise that died, is Tron. But I mean,
really alive to start with, though. Don't get me wrong, we like it, but it's a cult classic, and that pretty much defines it as it was shit when it came out, and we just it's like Robot Jocks. We like it because of what it represents, not because it was ever actually successful.
Well, okay, but there is such a thing as the the tarnished classic, or the or like what we term for Bloodlines. The first Vampire the Masquerade game, Blood. It's a God. What is the turn of phrase for it? It's the flawed masterpiece. Now, I'm not saying the first Tron movie was a flawed masterpiece. I saw it in the theater when I was a kid. I loved the shit out of it. As an adult, I tried to watch it again. I was going, ooh, this was not that good, was it? But yeah, but Tron Legacy was great. I think everybody would acknowledge. I mean, they had a new direction to go in. They had it open to sequels. They had all these other good things, and then for some reason they just decided to scrap and throw all that shit away, and then just throw out this brand new Tron that really didn't have anything to do with the originals except just, surface level. It didn't even pick up the story of Tron Legacy. It just kind of like said, okay, yeah, that was cool. That happened and it never went anywhere. Thank you very much. Just forget about them. So yeah, Tron is pretty much dead and buried at this point too, because Ares pretty much nailed that coffin in it. As anything that Jared Leto touches pretty much turns into shit.
That poor guy.
I mean, well, hey, poor guy, nothing. The dude's got tons of chicks who want to bone him, and he's got an Oscar for playing a transgender person. I'm not lying.
I'm more along the lines of Jared Leto is not actually a bad actor, but he consistently is in roles that it doesn't matter how good of an actor you are, you cannot save because of how poorly written and poorly structured they are. Mm-hmm. So it's like you put him in the Joker, it's like he did exactly what he was supposed to do, exactly what he was hired to do. He was just hired to do shit.
Yeah. So Suicide Squad, yeah.
It's like this guy's like everything he touches turns to crap. It's like, no, it's just because he keeps getting hired to do crap.
Yeah. I mean, he was in Morbius, and that was just like, no. I mean, that was a sad one.
It's not my fault, dude.
I suppose it really isn't, but it really does seem like everything that he's in is just garbage. If I see Jared Leto attached to something, I just automatically go, nah, this is going to be shit. Just, and he does run a cult also. He does. He does. No, he really does. He does have a cult. I hope they don't come after me, but I'm not really saying anything bad about Leto himself. I mean, as an actor, he's fine, but it's just, yeah, he just seems to have the unfortunate tendency to keep being cast in movies that are shit. Yeah, and who thought Morbius was a good idea for a Marvel movie? It could have been a good idea for a Marvel movie if it was handled well. If they had gotten the guys who worked on the first Blade movie to make that Morbius film, I'll bet it would have been fucking great. Hell, I'll bet, what they should have done? This is my idea. They should bring a fourth Blade movie out with Wesley Snipes back in the lead, and then they should have had Morbius also in the film as like a sidekick or an extra or whatever, like introduced into the film at that point. That would have been a better springboard to making a solid Morbius movie that could stand alone. But no, they didn't do that.
It'll be fun, but I can't get behind Wesley Snipes in a new Blade movie. I have this thing. It is a natural compulsion against giving money to the IRS. And you know that if Wesley Snipes is something, that's where all of it's going. They own his ass for for the rest of eternity. They'll be digging corpse up to take money away from him.
I liked his brief turn in Deadpool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Well, I do have some good stuff. Some of it you may not want to talk about, Daniel. But anyway, yeah. Let me not make this an all complaining stream. This is a horrible thing to come back on. But I did have to get that off my chest. Okay, so some good things. I was given for free because I purchased Dying Light 2. The full thing. I was given for free Dying Light the Beast. That thing is good. That thing is so much fun. Let me see how much time I've already got on it. I beat the game a few days ago, and my total time is 51.6 hours on it. And it's enjoyable. It doesn't feel as long as the other Dying Light games, the first two. But as a standalone, it's great. The price tag is a little bit high, in my opinion. But if you got it as part of your, Dying Light 2 package, it's totally worth it. But it's way more fun than Dying Light 2. Going beast mode and just hammering the shit out of zombies is super duper fun. That is a good game. I really enjoyed that immensely, and I would totally play that again.
I really liked the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I've played the second one, but I felt like they wound the apocalypse on too far. I liked the idea of the courier as like a character class or whatever, but I enjoy zombie apocalypses during or immediately after the collapse more than later on. It's like The Walking Dead lost my interest once you were down to horses and buggies, Yeah. And it was the same thing with this. I did really enjoy Dead Island 2, which people were quite critical of, and that was a bit on rails, but it was a lot of fun.
I have not finished it yet, but I enjoyed it for what it was. But I would take Dying Light the Beast over it in a heartbeat. It's just
technically absolutely a better game. Yeah.
They're both. I mean, they're both fun if you just want to smash zombies.
But hey, I mean, you just want to smash zombies. Why do we not have a button masher zombie apocalypse game? I mean, why is there not Dynasty Warriors zombie apocalypse?
There is.
There is?
There is. Yeah. We call it, what do we call that? It's been out for Dead Rising.
Is that what Dead Rising is? Is Dead Rising basically button masher zombie apocalypse?
Kinda, yeah.
I mean, basically, it's basically pick up something, hit zombies in a giant, city, mall, or whatever, full of unlimited respawning zombies.
I didn't remember the shopping mall was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Just don't play the remake.
I lost patience with Dead Rising because the bosses are just too difficult.
I also agree. I think the bosses were way too difficult in Dead Rising. And it just seems like you can't get strong enough to beat them.
Yeah, must have died to that fucking Jeep like 50 times.
That's
like the first boss.
Yeah, that's the first boss. Dead Rising 2 was kind of worse in a way, although you had the combination weapons appear. The only Dead Rising I've actually managed to beat is 3, and that's because that's when they introduced vehicles. So much of the time I was able to pretty much just, crush zombies under the wheels of my car. But I enjoyed Dead Rising 3. And yeah, the Dead Rising series is pretty much just like, like if you just want to take your frustrations out and just beat the shit out of zombies for a few hours, this is the perfect game for you. But I would also add Dying Light, the Beast, and maybe the first Dying Light. I really didn't like Dying Light 2. And I'm not alone on that. A lot of other people felt the same way, but Dying Light 2 just wasn't fun. I didn't want to replay it. And when I found out that it had multiple endings and that it only took one or two little variances in order to change the way those endings came out, I did not care for them anymore.
I really want to fix the Zombicide RPG to make it better.
Yeah. It has good bones, but it has some problems. I mean, yeah, the travel system is, I get what they were going for, but at the same time, I don't think most players like that.
Yeah.
They would rather actually have to go through the whole rigmarole of traveling from one place to another rather than just kind of like dice rolling your way through it, which is what they have. In a way, to me, the Zombicide role-playing game, it seems kind of like it's pretty much like a game of Zombicide, because it's like, okay, you start at your base, and then you have to get to whatever location it is that you're going to raid, and getting there is just a dice roll for bonuses or minuses or whatever. And then it feels like you have to set up the building on a board or something and then play out the game as if it's a set piece battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really what it feels like to me. And the thing that pisses me off is the second one that they brought out, the fantasy version, the Black Plague one, Plague Bearer. That had some seriously good bones on it. That had a lot of potential, and we may never see it. Because remember, they were supposed to bring it out, and then they decided to delay it, and I don't know, maybe I kind of feel like it's our fault. I do. I'm not to shine my own ass, but our live play, I know they watched our live play. I know they did. They probably saw how we handled it and how it actually played out. And they probably thought, we need to make some changes because, these guys, came up with stuff that we didn't think of, and we need to figure out how to make this better. Which I applaud them for.
We provide.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, but nerds and geeks are going to become cultural archaeologists to find good stuff until new good stuff is made. Well, yeah, we already are. I've said more than once that my library of films mostly consists of stuff that is old. I'll give you an example. Let me get this. Sorry. So you want to talk about old? Yeah. So we know I got this, right? This Urutsuki Doji, Legend of the Overfiend, the original hentai video tentacle nasty, right? They brought out the sequel, which is all the sequels of the Overfiend. I was disappointed with this. And I'll tell you why. Because although they gave you all of the sequels and OVAs, they are in standard definition, which means, I put the Blu-ray in expecting, upscaled, clean video, good looking, and that's not what I got. It looked like somebody had basically taken their VHS copy and ported it over to a SD card or a Blu-ray disc. So it doesn't look great. Whereas this one is actually cleaned up and looks good, so you can... I don't want to know what you're going to do with it. But
you say old, and I'm thinking Casablanca and Maltese Falcon, and then it's like, oh, but here's anime. It's like, oh, wait a minute. When you say old, I think like 30 years before anime existed.
Well, I have a lot of these old movies too. Like I got an old Hammer film from 1968 called The Lost Continent. So, I collect old movies and newer movies, but I also collect anime because you got to remember, back in the 90s, anime was starting to filter into the country, and I was kind of more or less growing up with it. So, and back then, all the movies that were coming in the 90s were originally anime that were made back in the 80s in Japan.
Yeah.
But that was all the best shit. That was Fist of the North Star. That was Vampire Hunter D. That was Ghost in the Shell. That was Berserk. Well, Berserk kind of came a little bit later, but still.
I mean, I was a Gundam guy myself, which is like late 60s, and then had a resurgence in the late 70s, and then Zeta was in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's still. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff that came out throughout that time. A lot of bad stuff too, some of which I am quite fond of. But
MD Geist,
Genocyber
was good. The comic, I wish they would have finished putting out the comic.
Well, Genocyber, the first two were good. The third part makes like dick all of no sense.
Well, they brought out a manga one episode or one comic issue of Genocyber, and it was great. And I kept waiting for them to put out more, and they never did. And then, of course, we got the OVA, and it kind of didn't make any sense. Yes, Cybernetics Guardian. I've got that one. But it's just like it is today. I mean, they shove out so much anime, and so little of it is really very good or memorable. I mean, my friend must have showed me about a half a dozen different isekai, and I think I remember like 2 or 3 of them. Because they all just kind of start to run together. I mean, I remember Kengan Ashura more than I remember, what is it, reincarnated as a slime.
Isekai is like, the bar is so low for isekai because it all is so god-awful terrible. It all sucks so bad that it's like when one that is barely watchable comes out, it's like, oh, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It's so just god-awful terrible. But I mean, it's anime, and anime, the hallmark of anime is it's very cheap to easily produce quickly. So it's all shotgun. It's like, man, you remember that really great anime? It's like, yes, it was one of 15,000 that studio put out that all sucked. And that's the one that they accidentally got right. And we remember it, and we watch it, and we get the anniversary release. And then some of us are like, yeah, remember this dumpster fire they put out? Watch it burn, man. It's warm. Wintertime.
Yeah, no kidding. If we ever get Greg on here too, we've got to destroy Alien Earth on there, because I've actually managed to be able to sit down and watch all 8 episodes now, and I'm just like, oh my god, how was this allowed to be created? The only reason I don't go more mental on Alien Earth is because I believe at some point the studio actually came out and said, this is not part of the regular Alien continuity, which saved it. Because if otherwise people, you watch this and you're just going like, how the fuck does any of this make any sense in context with what we have already seen? Your issue with the zombie side RPG is that you're stuck in the city. You want to travel around in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah. I mean, well, you could set it anywhere you want, realistically, but it does kind of make more sense to set it in a city, just because it does, because of easy access to resources that are nearby. Whether you just want to take on hordes of the undead in order to get it, but you think Biopunk is going to have an explosion here? I don't know, but I tell you what isn't going to make an explosion is Solar Punk. Have you seen Solar Punk, Daniel?
No, but I have a feeling I'd laugh at it.
Solar Punk is like, okay. It's
I'm
like
assuming it's the other punk where solar power is the big deal.
Yeah, not only is solar power and clean energy the thing, but all war and corporate, corruption and everything else has been eliminated, and everybody is living in peace and harmony.
Battery power to go to war with each other. You try to send your tanks and they die in the driveway before they can make the first left-hand turn. There's a way to kill war.
Very much so.
You're being a little unfair. It just seems to mean more sort of hopeful futurism.
Yeah,
is what they're going for. But yeah, the problem is if you make everything too hopeful, too clean, too nice, then you've got nothing to fight over or about or against.
What is your conflict?
Yeah, I mean, there are good ways to do it, kind of. Like if you're playing a crew trying to rebuild civilization or clean up an area and set up a steading that can then be used to explore the surrounding area beyond. You could have a good base building type mechanic where, okay, we've set up these algae bioreactors and a solar farm and a wind farm, and now we can start bringing in survivors or whatever. There's ways to do it that could be interesting, but the thing is, you've got to have that conflict.
That
So
sounds
if
like
you're
Dungeons and Dragons 2024, we're just going to set up a wind farm over here in our magical solar panels. I mean, it's an entire war being fought with that gun from Demolition Man that takes like 24 hours to charge for one shot. So it's like, it's like, hi, I shot you. Now it's like I'm gonna hold it out here in the sun. I hope it's not cloudy.
people will come to blows to recharge their phone. It's a thing.
I don't think Nausicaa counts as solar punk. Because it had lots of conflict in it.
Hey, there's the modern day Agincourt. We lost because it got cloudy and rainy and we couldn't recharge our tanks.
Yeah. We can't go to war today. All of our pulse rifles aren't fully charged. But that should be your next challenge, Grim, is to try to make a grim and gritty solar punk game.
I kind of have an idea for one.
Oh my god. I knew it.
Sort of. It's not exactly solar punk, but it could be. You could take it in that direction. It's a bit like that game we played a couple of times together.
Which one?
Have the one with the completely war-ravaged planet. Where you play the scavengers.
Oh, yes. For the Forever War. Or the Forever Winter.
Yeah, so the idea would be that you are people who are left behind on this world and have to scavenge and squabble with other groups to try and rebuild civilization. So the game loop would be explore, bring back cool stuff, build up your community. Possibly your community gets attacked if you've attracted too much attention. Go out, get more stuff to cope with the new people that have come on board. And yeah, that's the game loop rather than descending into a dungeon, gathering treasure, going back to town, finding a worse dungeon, taking the treasure,
Well,
you can add your own kind of like social pariahs and your own lepers in solar punk too, because all you have to do is just follow some reality here and be like, oh, what are these lepers that we throw outside the front of the city gates? Who are these people that are, destitute and thrown out? Oh, they're the people that are just poisoned and mutated by all the, all the shit your solar panels dumped into the water stream, because green energy, that's kind of what it does. Like, let's forget about this NICAD that we're dumping everywhere. There you go.
Well,
lithium, cobalt mutants.
There you go. Yeah. Speaking of the Forever Winter, by the way, they finally figured out some kind of disk compression technology. So the game is no longer like, 100 gigabyte on your drive or whatever. Now it's actually shrunk down to 60 something or 50 something. It's gotten much, much smaller.
So if I patch it, it will actually shrink.
Yes. If you patch it, it will shrink. I tested it for myself on this new machine, and God, it plays beautifully now. Yes, it's still hard as fuck. It's actually harder than fuck now, but it's fuck. Well, because before, if you wanted to, get to a battlefield, all you had to do was, just transport to a battlefield from your innards, which is, your home base. But now you physically have to travel through a series of tunnels and elevators and staircases and stuff through mobs of enemies in order to reach the battlefield. So, yeah, the difficulty has ramped up, but I still like the experience. I still enjoy it. So, maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment, or
I think I remember you showing some clips on Twig sometime a while back on that, and it looked pretty interesting.
Yeah,
where you're running through all the battlefields and stuff, everything's just blowing up around you, and you're just trying to run through, get your groceries, and get back to the other side. Basically,
as a matter of fact, they haven't had an update, but let me see what the last one I got was like the August update. So I don't know if they've done a September update or oh yeah, here's a September update right here, and this is the one that tells you how they shrank it. But here, we take a look at it real quick. I'm curious. I'm also doing this for my benefit because I want to see how the new machine handles the video. So
it's kind of like
Yeah.
I don't want to change the world. I just want to get by in at the game.
Yeah, this is the tunnel system now you have to get to in order to reach all the battlegrounds. And yeah, they change.
It's giving me Blame vibes.
I know. It gives me Blame vibes too.
Honestly, it makes me think about Stray. I mean, with a gun.
Yeah. Not a cat.
A gun, not a cat.
Yeah, since you have player housing now, you can actually pick up stuff for it. There's a lot more to do.
Cool. Might have to give it another go if I ever get any free time ever again. I'm so busy that I have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, they've got a shooting range now.
Passerby, I don't care if it's pronounced Blame. Alright, they pronounce whiskey as whiskey, so they can bite me.
Yeah, these are your personal quarters that you can upgrade now.
Comfy.
If you can get all the parts for it. I haven't yet. I need to play it more.
Gotta get that new vase. Those flowers.
There you go.
New Coke machine for your pad.
I wouldn't say this is quite like that, but yeah, it has some of those elements. But wow, that worked really good.
It did.
I'm curious to see what their next upgrade is going to be.
I have to go and get ready for Tabletopless. So.
Oh well, give me just a couple seconds, okay? Because
Okay.
you're gonna want to see the next things I put up. I promise I'll be quick. But I got packages that I wanted to show off real quick because this arrived. Advanced Kinks and Cantrips. Yeah, so now I have the physical copy. I've got the PDF. Grim, when you're ready, we can go over it. Because I know you.
Maybe I should get the PDF from somewhere.
So I can look at it. And the other thing I got that was pretty cool. I got a package from Ireland, and I only know one person in Ireland, and that is James Neckbeardia. So he sent me these miniatures that he made from his company, and they're actually really, really cool. I mean, they're 3D printed, and they look great. I need to put them all together and get them painted. But thank you very much, Neckbeardia. I wasn't expecting those. But on top of that, he also sent me the station After Hours, which unfortunately got a little damaged in its transatlantic crossing. But this is a TTRPG source book that he and I think Guard Bro worked on. I also got an additional copy of Stale Water, which I already had one. And I'm still proud of this one just because I managed to get Grim to run this on Tabletopless. But I also got this. Which is the Deck of Many Triggers. And yes. Which my card did not get printed. So unfortunately, I can't claim a credit on this. Although I was asked to contribute a card, and I did, but it never hit the funding goal for it. Nice. But yeah, this stuff is guaranteed to make your players of certain types either laugh their ass off or rage quit.
Yay.
Yep. Yeah, just to give you To give you a closer look at it, let's see. Let's neurodivergent. They say you aren't quite right in the head. Discover your true self. Roll a d8. 1 alphabet person. Roll a d20 and start at the first letter of LGBTQ plus. If you don't know the letter, then it's definitely P or Z. 2 autism spectrum disorder. 3 autogenophile. Ew. 4 bipolar. 5 borderline personality disorder. 6 bro-SR. They get too much shit. 7 democratic socialist. 8 furry. 9 misophonia. 10 obsessive compulsive disorder. 11 Tourette's syndrome. Or 22 dyslexic. This one is from Dungeon Delver, I know. Yeah, white men can leave. Yeah, we know that one. Bucket of woe. Cancel. Vegan cats. Destroy the child. Clerical assistance in death. Death is problematic. Oh, we know this one. Yes. Will not divide us. Yes, fuck around and find out. My favorite. Furry hunter.
I gotta go.
All right.
See you guys. Take care.
All right. Well, so there you go. The deck of many things is out. It looks gorgeous. And if you just want to have a laugh or you want to seriously inject some irreverence into your game, definitely I would encourage you to use it. You have to get it from Nick Beardia's site, which I don't know the URL, unfortunately. And if we had some of our other guys on, they'd find it for me real fast. But I will try to include it in the links on the video description as soon as I find them. So my apologies. But thank you very much, Nick Beardia, for the package. And thank you for the extras. I do appreciate you, man. But all right.
Here you go. If it will, post.
Let's see. You could see Biopunk getting big, especially if it has a bit of throwback 80s sci-fi horror like Guyver. That was a good one. Not the movie, but the OVA was really good. Genocyber, Necroscope, a little bit of Splatterpunk. Yeah. Maybe.
You're gonna have to
body horror.
Here, I'll put it over here. Since you don't have it set up so that I can tell you. There you go.
What's that?
Private chat.
Oh, private jet. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I tried to post it in the YouTube chat.
Oh, yeah.
I got blocked me.
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I haven't given you perms. Let me do that while I'm doing this. I'll give you perms. Put you in timeout. No. Ban user and delete their comments. No.
No.
Okay. Apparently I can't do it.
Ultimate plan to flood your chat with spam for my Patreon.
Oh, geez. How's that going, by the way?
Patreon's picking up. Like I said, we got some money coming in to help out on the car. Actually, I've got my members and patrons are all voting on a thing right now. My last stream, Agile Monk had kind of just find a TTRPG content creator, media figure, whatever, who's kind of maybe on some hard times or struggling a bit or whatever, to give the car away as just a charity. And I'm probably gonna depending on how that vote goes, I'll probably hybridize it to where it just turns into, in order to be in the drawing, you have to be nominated for a cause by somebody else, which helps me out because then I don't have to do a sweepstakes and I don't have to worry about sweepstakes law anymore because I'm no longer doing something that can be coined gambling. But I put it up to a vote where I was like, do we just leave this as an open sweepstakes that anybody can come into, or do we move it to a charity thing where somebody has to be nominated for cause to be in the drawing to get the car when I finish it? So it's been going along, growing a little bit here and there, faster than my actual subscriber count. So I don't get that sweet $1.50, that $3.50 from the Loch Ness YouTube monster.
Hey, I don't either. So, I mean, it's like, I get it. I get it once every, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 months if people are being generous. But yeah, if I absolutely had to survive off of YouTube, I would die. I would die. I would not even be able to afford ramen. So
I got a few good core patrons and some folks giving away some memberships and whatnot and some memberships. So I've been kind of blessed to probably perform above my level when it comes to Patreon and YouTube.
I have
super chats and stuff.
I have thought about Patreon, but my problem with Patreon is the same problem I have with YouTube memberships, and that is I don't know that I have any services that I could offer that would be worthy of people's dollar, because I want to make sure that they are getting their money's worth out of anything I put out. And I don't think that, something like, private chat or whatever like that is really, worth it that much. Cause most of my folks know they can talk to me anytime they want. So,
yeah. We could do like a members only stream series type thing, something like that. Hell, I mean, there's what you do. Grab the old Central Park Media catalog, get a couple of people together, and it's like, all right, so we're going to watch one of these every week. And each week, the members only stream is us talking about how god awful bad this thing was and what did we just have to watch.
Lord knows. I mean, and a lot of that stuff is available on YouTube for free. So, but anyway, we're over time. But, it's kind of a nice return to form, I think. Hopefully we'll have more folks with us next time.
Yep.
But
get the gang back together.
Yeah, we will. I know Ironcaster had family stuff today, and I'm not sure where everybody else is. Maybe they didn't know we were going on today, or maybe they had other stuff going on. But either way, I'm not going to chew on anybody's ass for that, because it's not like I'm paying anybody. So, I can't even pay myself. So yeah. But anyway, y'all, thank you very much for hanging out with us today. I appreciate you, all 40 plus of you who've been here. My personal tragedy has kind of ended, and I got to go on. So here's hoping, I'll continue to be steady and keep bringing you all the entertainment that you crave. I've definitely got enough stuff put aside that we got some good stuff for the next couple of shows. So
there you go.
Yeah. So Tuesday should be fun, especially when we get Ironcaster on, because I got toys and he hasn't seen them yet. But all right, y'all, thanks for hanging out with us today, and we will see y'all on the next show, which will hopefully be Tuesday night or tomorrow night. I'm actually also going to try to run Ashes Without Number. Hopefully that will be successful also. But I do have a lot of work I got to do here around the house before I can do that. So hopefully I get done before then. Otherwise, we'll see you Tuesday. Good night.
On behalf of the staff of the Independent California Motel, I wish you all sweet dreams.